Hi everyone, welcome to your daily tarot reading with me, Madhura, and let's see what we have today. Ayyo, Chinu, what is this behavior? Yeah, there's definitely something extremely toxic going on over here. Um, because of Chinu's behavior, I also feel like someone's being really aggressive. There's frustration. I feel like there's anger. There's lack of mindfulness in this behavior, whatever it is. Ayayyo. Um, the Five of Pentacles was initially it was upright, and right now with all of this chaos, it has turned into its reverse position. Um, I'm This is my second try today, and I'm having a really hard time interpreting these readings. Um, I don't think I've seen these permutations, combinations of these cards before. I think you're feeling a great lack of love and nurturing in your life. So you're not feeling it within yourself either. That's not your. I think you're biting right now. You're biting people too much. It's and metaphorically, of course. Um, you might be saying spiteful things. You might be sort of having these recurring negative thoughts about people and their intentions for you. Okay, and I don't think you're wrong to feel that way, but I feel like the way you're going about these things might not be the best. Okay, and it's not that anger is a bad emotion, but it's just a emotion that masks sadness. And sadness is usually a byproduct of some feeling rejected, feeling tossed aside, feeling unwanted. Yeah, that will generate usually a lot of sadness in the cases of overthinking. And that's sadness because it's seen as a weak emotion, and anger is seen as a strong emotion. It's usually that we mask our sadness with anger, so we don't feel the helplessness of sadness, because in anger it's you feel like you're actively doing something for yourself, but it's usually against yourself because it's such a low vibrational emotion. um but right now I feel like there's just a lot pent up in you. Okay, there's you've just gone through a breakup or a divorce, but I don't think it's necessarily left you like I think it took a lot out of you. It could also be in terms of resources, so financially it could have taken a lot out of you, but I think there's a bit of hope there, so you're not bothered by that. You understand that it was a necessary expense, so you're not really bothered by it, but it has left a dent in your bank account. It's sort of and it could also be for that some people, either your business has gotten into trouble, or you're not necessarily getting paid what you expect to be paid for your uh, freelance job, or one of your checks is pending. Yeah, it's not come through yet. And that could be the reason that you're having a hard time in your relationship, in your love life. Okay, so finances could be a problem. Finances could be one of the main reasons why things are not working out the way you expect them to, and it's making you feel really anxious, just angry, very sort of like you are feeling very entitled in a sense. Is you feeling entitled um for people's love, because you feel like you've done so much for them, and why won't they return the favor, or why won't they, just like they've used your energy, why won't they replenish you with theirs? Yeah. And it's just not time for resolution yet, is what I'm saying. Okay, there's a big lesson here, I feel like. And it's just not time for resolution until that lesson um, makes sense to you. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, something to do with lying, manipulation. Okay. Just to be very honest, Queen of Cups is also someone who uses love for manipulation. So if it is you, if you are putting people in a difficult position, and that's putting your relationships in trouble, if you think of yourself as someone who's just really caring and really loving, and people are just unable to receive it, you really need to look at your the intentions behind your actions. Okay, actions are sort of easy to see, but usually what's sane, wise, smart people will read before the action is the intention behind the action. And it's very clear if you have some level of security that you feel about yourself. It's very easy to read other people's intentions towards you. Okay, and sometimes we choose to ignore those perspectives because it's just easier that way for the time being. But eventually that feeling is going to keep nagging at you if the person doesn't evolve or change for the better. And you are going to sort of just know at some point you are going to have to give in to your intuition. So it's not hard for people to spot these people. Manipulative people think they're just so innocent, and they think of themselves as the victim. But I feel like using love for manipulation is sort of um, a very low level of disservice to yourself. And because it's a disservice to yourself and the rest of the world is a projection of your thought process, it's a disservice to the rest of your world as well. Um, so let's see what your next step should be. Okay. Okay, whatever this, if you have recently gone through a divorce, the universe is saying that, and if you were worried that if you've done the right thing or not, you have done the right thing. That was the right path for you. Okay, I'm not saying that if you are contemplating if you should get divorced, then you should immediately get divorced. That's not, those are not the people this message is for. If you are someone who has already made the decision of walking away from a major relationship, it doesn't have to be a divorce, but it can, if even if it feels like it, even if you weren't even living together, you were living in separate houses, but you've been together so intensely or for so long that it was basically a marriage. Okay, in your heart you basically felt married to that person. Then this message is for you, that the universe is reiterating that your decision was the right thing to do. You don't have anything to worry about. Okay. And it's okay to start from scratch. Okay. It's the page is a very sort of like a doe-eyed, believes in the good of the world and good, that people are good. And uh, we will be treated like we treat other people. There's this just a very hopeful new college student energy in pages. They just think they are going to just do their best and they're going to get the best. Yeah. So with two pages here, I feel like the universe is saying for sure focus on yourself, focus on your intuition, get advice from people. Okay, get into the role of listening and learning for a little bit. and do it just for yourself. Okay, don't bound yourself to any institution or any organization right now. So freelance if you can. Okay, I also see Page of Wands as sort of like an amateur freelancer, who has a lot of passion but doesn't necessarily fully understand the technique. Okay, so the universe is saying that whatever lesson you're learning here right now, it's in terms of love and it's in terms of manipulation. So I feel like this lesson is about learning, either you are at the giving end of the stick where you are manipulating with love and binding someone, so you don't have to spend time with yourself and work on yourself, or you could be at the receiving end of this manipulative love where you wanted to be the good person, the people pleaser so desperately that you just decided to deny yourself protection from a person who's manipulating you with love. Okay, I feel like that was the dynamic of these two people who recently just ended a major relationship or a dynamic. And the next step universe is saying is you have to focus on yourself, you have to focus on learning how to mark boundaries if you are at the receiving end of it, or starting from scratch and learning how to healthily love, not just because you have ulterior motives, not just because you want to be appreciated for being such a loving person, but loving for the sake of it without expectations. Okay, so that's something that the universe is asking you. And what the universe is saying is don't attach yourself to one mentor or to one authority figure. Okay, especially someone older, especially someone with very strong masculine energy. The universe is saying it's not the time to do that right now. Get into the learning space, but make sure that you're pulling information from even the weirdest of places. And religion or spirituality might not be the space where the answer for this is supposed to be, or where how you're supposed to heal it is not. I don't think it's in religion or spirituality. Consider therapy, maybe consider psychoanalysis, consider something that is laboratory tested. Okay, that has the ability to be approved and accepted with laboratory testing. That's where your healing is, I feel like, in terms of this particular situation. Okay, and what you can't see right under the deck is Ace of Pentacles, and right underneath Two of Cups. So there's a lot of manifestations, especially in terms of relationship. The person that your soulmate, I feel like, is just, they're working behind the scenes on getting your soulmate to you. But before that, you have to learn how to be patient, especially with the Knight of Pentacles. You have to learn patience. You have to learn um, how to not make love a weapon. Okay, how to just love for the sake of love instead of making a weapon out of it, and just expecting everything out of your partner that your family couldn't provide for you. I think that's a big burden. You have to learn to make yourself happy, and right on the other side of that bridge there's the perfect relationship. There's just stunning manifestations, the perfect relationship with your soulmate that you were meant to be with in this lifetime. And I think it's going to move slow, but it's sort of going to be like molasses, right? It's going to be a slow grind with this relationship, the next one, but you're learning so much about yourself, and you've come so far already, and you're still on your way to a destination that's so much farther than it's just that maybe someone else in your shoes might not have been able to handle it right now. Okay, I feel like the reason, this is almost like advanced feedback, so it's not like you're doing anything wrong right now. Although using love to manipulate someone is not the greatest thing in the world, there's a reason you're doing that. Okay, you've let your inner child drive, and your inner child is just wreaking havoc, driving in every which way just in the search of love, okay? Because your inner child is just not feeling loved enough from you. So I feel like you're headed to such a far off destination still, and there's so much to do. But you're carrying yourself. I feel like you're going to be carrying yourself really well. It just has to come from a place of genuine humility. It has to come from a place of learning love from the weirdest of places. So that's also, I think, why the hierophant wasn't reversed in your next step. Is you're not supposed to learn it from someone who's preaching love, or someone in a position of authority who claims to know love, um, uh, through either books or learning it from someone. I think this experience of pure love and joy needs to come from the weirdest of places. The Page of Cups is right here, because it needs to come from people, things, living beings who have learnt it from experience, okay, who just know how to love, okay, who were born with it, or who were nurtured, who received so much nurturing and loving that they have sort of learned it from receiving it. um I think it's in the sweetest, it's in nature, it's probably it's in children, young people, the passion that young people can love with. I think you're supposed to learn that, if that has faded for you in any way. So I think, yeah. Oh, cute. Okay. Wedding. Okay. And then, all right. That's all I have for you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.